the main stage. Optic Gaming getting their rematch from the pool play in which they sort of got dismantled. You know, when's the last time have you talked about this Optic Gaming lineup and they've been the sort of least favored team in the series? I can't remember.
That's as bad of a loss as I've seen anyone take, but here we are in Las Vegas, baby, and it's time to kick things off. And the nice part for Optic, they just won a Scorch Hardpoint to close it out, in which Scump absolutely went off with the OSA, and there he is immediately, picking up 3, crushing things early. And you know, you heard Benson mention, I talked to him right after the last series, and he said, I've just been struggling on retaliation, but my OSA shot is on point. Expect a big game from him. Oh, definitely. I'm not sure why he spent so much time earlier on using that K-bar. He made this switch to OSA and absolutely dominating in that last Scorch Hardpoint against Elevated. Exactly. He had, what, 33 kills or something like that, so expect him to go off. After going, I think it was 13 and 27 into game 1 on retaliation, so certainly kind of a tale of 2 hard points for Scump thus far. It is tight early, though, as we've got 15 seconds or so before we end up rotating out. I'm going to hop to the top. It's going to be 1. It's Ruiz in the back. He's already set up a turbine. Rotated very, very early. He gets spotted, should get pushed, and that's a big gunfight win there for Crim6 in the back. Yeah, that's a great job from Crim, just taking his time at that top door, bidding out that player's shots, and getting the trade in again. The flood will be coming in. Last 2 players from E6 trying to lock in this hard point. Scump has something to say about it, though. Karma has his help as well, and the clean break from Optic Gaming should be able to get this 50 seconds. And even with the changes to spawns and everything we've seen, this is still the hard point that you locked out. It was the money hill before, was the money hill after the change. You can get a full 60 here if you set up and just hold off, what, 2, maybe max 3 pushes that E6 is going to be capable of doing. Look, it's already down to 35 seconds here right after the break from Optic. Just great stuff. Great trades going on from Optic. All they need to do is flood in, but the spawn out is actually happening. They broke it. They broke it. A good grouping up from E6 over towards that alleyway side to get this last 30 seconds. I really expected Optic Gaming to hold the entirety of this hard point, but just not able to do it. And again, going back to that first series, who was the person that was dominating Optic? It was General for the majority of those maps, so he's doing it again early here. Woo! Answering back, they need to win this rotation. That's a good way to do it. Yeah, they've got to get set up turbine, but good job to E6 to make. Let's go to the back box here. It's going to Crim6 with a cable, only 5 bullets in the clip. So with the OSA, as he's trying to make a play in the back, he will ultimately end up falling, but we'll get back to Scump, who's racking up some time, and this may be Optic Gaming's lead here. General with a huge flank over towards that top hallway. Can he pick up some more? That was a huge heads-up play depending on the spawn that he got. He picks up a second as well. Some gunfights going down at the back. Who's going to win out, though? Some contesting gunfights. General picks up another 2, earns the Scarab 175 away from some more score streaks as well. Some drove it into the driving, but picks up the Scarab in the hill, locks it down, and buys just enough time for his teammates to flood back in. Huge plays from the man. And he's really, really close to these Trinity Rockets. 125 away as the lead continues to now expand for the side of E6. We'll stick with General as he's got this nice streak going. And let's see how he wants to play this. He's going to wrap around the back, and you see the number 7 on the mini-map will be Scump that's waiting and set up for this. He's able to win the gunfight, and that's huge because it shuts down those streaks. Yeah, it just seems to be the same sort of story from hill to hill. They get the good setup, they win the rotation in Optic Gaming, and then they spread themselves out a little bit too thin, get picked off, and then E6 just roars in and gets the majority of the time. They got to figure it out at some point at this game. An unfortunate series of events there. Karma getting the team kill, trying to answer back towards the back doorway. Yeah, I don't know how Proto really got in that position. It looks like one of the angles just not cut off by Optic, and then it does lead to a team kill. I think it's a little bit of panic ensues, but it is going to be General inside. There's another massive 2-piece for him as he keeps things rolling. The 100-point mark has been broken as E6 continues to hold control, but it's now on Ruiz to try and make some plays. 25 seconds left. Now from running right into his kills for everybody coming through, and for Ruiz has Scarab to work with, and that is a 6 hold for E6. Just great stuff overall. The gaming took their time and grouped up, but just got absolutely on that. Double the score now for Enigma 6, going back on the rotation to middle. And Optic Gaming, I don't know, it sounds weird. I don't want to go back of what I've been usually preaching in these hard points, but Optic Gaming needs to start fighting for some of this scrap, I think. Yeah, you know, I took E6 yesterday in the first matchup. I really thought they were going to take the series. They played well. Chance and I both felt good about them, but I really felt good about Optic coming into this just because, I don't know, they're a Sunday team, man. They always perform when it comes to the big day on Championship Sunday. But now let's get over to Formal here. 3 streak, 11 and 10. Optic a little bit of climbing to do, but no, some crazy comebacks here as Formal lines them all up. A team kill gets baited in, Karma assist, and now you've got a chance to rack up some time here at mid.
Have to note as well, Formal is rocking this Warden. He is 50 away from streaks and almost has that overdrive as well. His shot looks electric as always. Earns one of them 25 away now. Needs to really play it safe to earn this bombardment as he can basically break the next hill with it.
Yeah, these streaks could end up being huge. A Warden could be an absolute game changer. But now he comes flying in, but gets cut down before he can wrap to the edge. Tried to, I think, time that pinch with his teammates, but Scump and Karma dying on the opposite side at the same time. So this is the opposite of what we saw last Turbine was able to break it with about 30 seconds left. Now it's got to be Optic to get the break, and it's Karma that goes in. Karma finds two, tries to get a third in the back, can't do it, but Formal is there to back him up. But everybody dropping around them. He has to clutch a 1v2, can't get it done. Man, they are still spawning out.
Yeah, great from Proto, switching over to that pistol to win it over towards this basically God spot box in the back of the hill. E6 doing a great job. Some streaks coming in to see if intro kills can go down, but Cade says no to that Optic push. 30 seconds left here on this hard point. Optic has no answer for these strongholds from E6. They just can't take them out.
They did exactly what Optic didn't do the first time. They got control, basically sure there was contest time that was really done. And the scrap time as well, a chance maybe for the final 10 seconds to be picked up by Karma, but the gunfight win for Proto. But let's go ahead and swap over. I was going to switch over to Formal actually because he was the one kind of watching Skybridge, but as he drops, it allows things to open up. And did he just FTL jump past him?
Yeah, that's what it looked like there. A great payload ability used there to break in, and E6 isn't really sort of doing any sort of fancy rotations. They sent 3-player up towards that wall run and the top hallway. They win the gunfights. Set up, but they get broken instantly again, but largely due to that FTL jump, zipping right by the players of Optic Gaming in their setup and breaking again. General, Proto, all the players on E6 grouping up and dominating.
This is back-to-back hard points that have been totally lopsided for the side of E6. You do cut him down before he gets streaks, able to make a play. It's Cade. Nice shot range with the OSA to bridge. You saw on X-ray one underneath. Yeah, a comeback is possible, but this has been so lopsided now up to almost 120.
And it's just looking very bad. Cade just locking down this last point as we focus on this rotation, and Krim gets caught out again so late on the rotation as well. He should be getting an unfavorable spawn. Ruiz picks up a second as well. Karma needs to lock this down as much as possible for his team to get any sort of hold. The rewind comes in, get some help from Krim. So finally, some sort of hope for Optic Gaming as they need to make this comeback.
Yeah, and when you look at it, just look at the slang right now. Formal 21-17, so he's positive. The rest of the team struggling mightily, especially from the Scump and Crimsic side. You would think this is where they would do well, especially this is the last map they played about 30 minutes ago, but E6 will not be stopped. They continue to hold form, and they're 15 points away from taking this one. Let's hop to their POV as General on a 2-speak inside, has reactive armor if needed to shut this down. There it gets popped. Tags him up, doesn't win the fight, but it doesn't matter. He's backed him up and held the push for just enough time that E6 should be icing this game one.
Looking very similar to the first series. Optic.
Oh, not quite yet.
Stays alive, only 1 second needed. They just need to rotate and pop one more to end this one. Optic Gaming has a very, very, very slight chance of making this happen, but a couple of players going down. General just absolutely wiping the floor with every single person he faces, and that's it. Game number 1 going to E6. Optic Gaming getting smashed once again.
And that's, I mean, that's not a whole lot different than what we saw in the game 1 of the first series, right? Where they were 3-0'd. I can't remember the exact score, but I know